Welcome back, nerds. Fino here. Did you wait till the last week to start Lilim Harlot? Last day? Well, it's turbo time, and I've got just the thing to cure what ails you. Aggressive hand-holding. Lucky for you, and me, 2023 Fino was kind enough to write out every single step he took in the JP run for Lilim Harlot, so follow along and you should be golden. First up, start the prologue. This pits you against a single Saber-class enemy, so dispatch it as you see fit. To speed things along for later, try making 2 template teams, one based around a generic single target attacker like Draco, and one based around 3-turn AoE clears. You'll be jumping between the two a fair bit. Also, if you can field Arquade, she saves even more brain cells. Go straight into Chapter 1. Arrow 2 is a 3-wave Servant Gauntlet. Throw your AoE team at it. The health values are low, so you can turn through these very quickly. Remember that this event is, at the low end, supposed to be completable by people who just started the game, so it's pretty trivial at parts. Arrow 3 is a 5-turn encounter of fighting off trash mobs. The enemies will spawn continuously, if you want to try and test your AoE stacking. It won't make the fight end any sooner, but kills in this fight count towards several missions, so you can get ahead of the curve by going deeper. This will also account for some of the discrepancy when you finish missions. If something isn't done on par with my clear, then just double tap one of the free quests to catch up, or wait if it doesn't impede your forward progress. Arrow 4 is a solo encounter with Draco. Use your skills from left to right, and when your Noble Phantasm is available, remember to chain Buster, NP, and then Quicker Arts, since this will let you take out multiple enemies in a single turn. Completing this node gives you a copy of the 3-star CE, which you should run in your teams immediately unless you already have gotcha CEs from rolling Draco. You'll get sent to the mission screen with Mission 1 already completed. Depending on how many enemies you killed in Chapter 1, Mission 58 may be done as well. Next, do each of the free quests once. The 30 AP quest drops Roses, which I'll just call Tier 1 drops. The 35 AP quest drops Wreaths, Tier 2, and the 40 AP quest drops Medals, Tier 3. A lot of Berserkers around, so plan cautiously if you intend to arts loop these. In this process, I completed both Mission 59, a continuation of the Berserker line, and Mission 10, which unlocks the next chapter. Act 2's first arrow is a 3-wave AoE check, ending on a battle against the Rider class Francis Drake. Be aware that Wave 1 has 6 enemies that spawn 3 at a time, so it'll take a minimum of 4 turns to do this encounter. 3 5 AP quests should be unlocked now, and you should do them all. The Capital of Gluttony is doable either with single target or AoE damage. It's 2 waves of servants across different classes. The Capital of Envy is also 2 waves, focusing mostly but not exclusively on Lancers and Berserkers. The Capital of Wrath is 3 waves and has Riders and Assassins. The enemy counts in these 3 fights vary, so bring extra charges or a Coin Sky looping setup to save yourself some annoyance. Doing these should complete Mission 11, unlocking further progress. Depending on how many craft essences you have, you may have also finished Mission 86. If so, be sure to buy a copy of Cradle Song from the event shop. This will amplify your damage and give you some starting charge to work with. I'd recommend having it equipped for general convenience. Now move on to Section 2, Part 2. The combat encounter is against 2 Berserkers in the same wave. You can easily AoE them down. This will complete Mission 2. Do the extra quest afterwards to unlock Mission 68, which should already be completed. There's a new 40 AP quest unlocked, so do that once and the old 30 AP quest once. The former is a 3-wave Lancer fight that drops all 3 shot materials. Between these two, Mission 12 will be completed. Now's a good time to remind you to make 3 team templates if you have enough craft essences, 1 set for each tier of shop currency. It'll save you a lot of swapping later on during free quests. Moving on to Section 3, the fight is a solo encounter where you use Locusta against Setanta. Come in with any Mystic Code that has a charge-giving skill, and if you use all of Locusta's skills, you'll have her NP ready to use. This should take Setanta out. Completing Section 3 finishes Missions 3 and 95, and also adds a temporary copy of Setanta to your roster. Immediately put him in all of your teams to start working on his bond levels. Start Chapter 4, Part 1. Arrow 1 is a 3-wave encounter, mostly against Sabers, with a single Lancer in Wave 3. Finishing this unlocks 3 new 5 AP quests, which you should also finish. Be aware that you'll be forced to use your Setanta in this one, so I'd recommend leveling him up to the extent that you can. You can also plug suit him out in 2 of them. Not Babylon Battle Summer League though. This is a mixed class 3-wave encounter where you're forced to run your Setanta, an NPC Locusta, and a friend support. If you let Squirturia act, she'll obliterate Setanta on sight. Taking a friend attacker with Cradle Song can help expedite this fight. Summer Vacation martial arts training forces a number of frontline servants, but you do have a backline to work with. Consider swapping in an arts AoE to take advantage of the mandatory Lady Avalon. Otherwise, it's a 3-wave encounter that has some annoying debuffs. Nothing worth taking extra time to prep for, but you may lose a turn along the way. Servant Bootcamp forces you to run Draco, Locusta, and Setanta as your frontline. You could plug him out in favor of a different attacker or some sort of friend support. I opted for a second Draco for fun. That said, the Python in round 3 will waste your time with an evade, so maybe you should keep Setanta in your frontline after all. His NP bypasses evasion. Doing these 3 quests should complete Mission 13. Mission 49 may be done as well, but don't sweat it if it's not. Do Section 4 Part 2 and then ascend Setanta if you can to complete Mission 89. Then do the Unlocked Babylon free quest 3 times. This one drops Tier 1 materials and consists primarily of sabers with a ruler boss. If you have Summer Musashi, Space Ishtar, Summer Kama, they'll shred this easily. Doing these finished missions 14, 87, and 88 for me, but your progress is going to vary on those last 2. Section 5 begins with an AoE encounter against Tiamat. She has a break bar, so this will take a minimum of 4 turns for you to finish. Focus on her when she appears, and the other enemies will disappear. Once that's done, do the new Babylon City Sightseeing free quest 3 times. These drop Tier 2 currency and feature Berserkers with a Moon Cancer boss. May want to swap off Avengers for this one. This process should give you some mix of missions 15, 46, 47, 60, 63, 83, 84, and 92. Complete Section 6, which is a 3-wave Night Class encounter. This will complete missions 64 and 65. At this point, you should also be able to ascend Setanta enough to complete Mission 90. Do the Jerusalem Masquerade Parade free quest twice. This is a 3-wave Archer encounter with a ruler boss, and it's focused on Tier 3 drops. Good time to bust out those Avengers again. Doing this will complete missions 16, 52, 80, 81, and 96. Section 7 Part 1 is more of the same, and completing it finishes Mission 93. Go back and do 4 more runs of Jerusalem Masquerade to complete missions 17, 34, 53, 66, and 82. Next is the Section 7 Extra Quest. It's a 2-wave AoE encounter, but be aware that Castrelli in Wave 2 will gain her NP immediately. Either block it or take her out in one shot. This completes missions 18, 50, and 94. You should also be able to fully ascend Setanta, though you're not obligated to do so. The back half of Section 7 has 3 combat encounters. The first is an AoE fight capped by a run-in with a 2-bar Jacques de Molay. She'll essentially steal one of your turns once you break her bar, so be ready to play grab-ass for a little bit. The second fight is a DPS race against a single caster. You need to break its bar within 5 turns. Borrowing a Rider or Draco with Cradle Song should be plenty. The third arrow pits you against Draco and that same caster. If you have any AoE extra class attackers, alter egos in particular, this is a good place to use them. Running this gauntlet will complete missions 48, 71, 72, and 85. You unlock a new free quest called Sabbath Venue in Jerusalem, and you should do this 3 times to complete missions 19, 35, and 64. It's an assassin node with a foreigner boss, and it drops Tier 1 currency. Section 8 starts off with a girthy encounter against a large number of trash mobs, backed up by Arjuna and Karna. Neither a break bar, so if you can reach Wave 3 with a Noble Phantasm ready, you should be able to end it quickly. This is followed by another Arjuna and Karna fight, but they have their NPs immediately. You can try to use their fight-specific mechanic to keep them at bay, but it's easier to just come in hot with a big AoE and take them out in a single shot. If your account is on the new side, grab a suitable attacker off your support list, maybe something like a Morgan with Cradle Song. Finishing Section 8 will complete missions 5, 37, 38, 67, and 97. Next, do the American Council of Elrond free quest 1 time. This is a Rider node focused on Tier 2 drops. This will complete missions 20 and 69 and unlock Section 9. Here you have to fight another swarm of trash mobs while you're locked into Locusta for one of your frontliners. I'd strongly recommend bringing some AoEs to help her out. Nightingale is the boss of this fight, and she's quite thick. Your NP is going to lose quite a bit of its bite in this part of the fight, so focus on using Locusta's face cards. Finishing this completes missions 21 and 54. Section 10 forces you to run Setanta on your frontline, and, assuming you leveled him up, he's well positioned to carry you through this fight. On break, Skahak gets a full NP bar. Ku-Alter has a persistent evasion and a triple stack guts that buffs him on pop. So remember to parry Skahak's Noble Phantasm with the protection of your choice, and then manhandle Ku-Alter with Setanta for the win. The Section 10 interlude locks you into Tiamat and Lady Avalon, who you have to use to fight a bunch of servants. Brawl it out, charge up Tiamat's Noble Phantasm. There are only so many ways to play this duo, so go with whatever. Missions 43 and 91 will be complete now. The second American free quest will be open now, so do My Fair Lady 3 times. It's a Lancer node focusing on Tier 3 drops. This will complete missions 22 and 44. Section 11 Part 1 is a Rider AoE encounter. Finishing it will complete missions 36 and 39. Now you'll have to go back and do some free quests. Do 4 runs of My Fair Lady and 2 runs of the 40 AP level 45 free quest way back at the start. These will collectively complete missions 23, 45, and 51. Section 11 Part 2 has a Draco solo encounter. Just remember to chain a Buster card and then your Noble Phantasm to kill multiple enemies per turn. Mission 6 complete. Section 12's first encounter forces you to frontline Setanta, but he doesn't really do anything special here, so feel free to Mystic Code swap him out in favor of a proper AoE setup. The last Jack turns into a certain saber once you break her final bar. Voice actor reference? Arrow 2 locks you into running Draco and Tiamat. Not much strategy here. Nero turns into a placeholder ghost once you break her bar. The back half of Section 12 is pure story, and Section 13 has a single encounter. This forces you to fight 2 enemies with break bars. Barbatos Jack will purge a buff every time it attacks, and it turns into a massive ghost, which has a single turn of invulnerability and 1 stack of guts, among other things. Fornius gets crit damage on break. To expedite this process, consider taking a servant with Invuln Pierce. If you can find any, Alter Ego Kiara has it baked into her hull. Heaven's All. Otherwise, you can get this effect via craft essence like Sweet Crystal, or certain support servants like Sherlock and Calamity Jane. Now do the London Free Quest 4 times. This is an assassin node that drops Tier 1 currency. Completed missions 24, 40, 41, 55, 56, 61, and 98. Section 14 has multiple combat encounters. Arrow 2 is against the Saber class Floros. It has sure hit baked in and gets attack up and guts on break. Just hit it with your best archer or a friendly Draco. Arrow 3 is a solo where you control Nero against Draco. Run through all their skills and chain QAB until your NP comes up. Easy peasy. Arrow 4 pits you against a trio of assassins led by Locusta. She'll start with an AoE skill seal for 3 turns. You can give your charge supports a debuff immunity CE like Vessel of the Saint, run the Atlas uniform and a cleanser like Martha, or give Castoria a 50% charge CE and then cleanse her out with the Atlas uniform. She can then charge her own NP and free the rest of the team. Take your pick. Mission 7 complete. Now do the Okeanos free quest 1 time. It's a rider encounter with a focus on Tier 2 drops. Missions 25 and 62 complete. Section 15 has 1 fight, and it's against Draco and Locusta. You just need to pop Draco's bar for a win, so use your strongest extra class attacker to blow her away. Be aware she has a chance to evade, so running someone with countermeasures can save you potential trouble. Kiara anyone? Mission 26 complete. Section 16 Part 1 is just story, so go through that and then do Septem's free quest 3 times. This is a saber encounter and focuses on Tier 3 drops. Missions 27 and 31 complete. The back half of Section 16 starts with an AoE caster encounter. Arrow 2 has 2 rider trash waves before you fight a pair of dragons with break bars. The one with the 3 special resistances requires you to hit it with each card type, Quick, Buster, and Arts, before it takes real damage. The other one has a 3-hit invuln and chance-based evasion. Bring someone with Invuln Pierce to deal with it. Mission 8 complete. Act 17 Arrow 1 locks you into Tiamat for your frontline. Break bar 1 to get it done with. Arrow 2 starts with a mandatory dialogue choice, but it has no effect on the battle itself. This is another fixed roster fight, so just have at it. Be aware that the boss will use its NP and get chance-based invuln once brought down to its final bar. Once you're done, finish the epilogue. Missions 9 and 73 complete. Do the Septem free quest, Tier 3, 2 more times for missions 32 and 78. Then do Lost Jerusalem's Sabbath venue, Tier 1, once for mission 75. Then do 2 America free quests. I'm picking Council of Elrond, Tier 2, as your shortfall of riders is substantially greater than your shortfall of lancers. Mission 76 complete. Do London's free quest, Tier 1, once for mission 57. Then do Babylon's City Sightseeing, Tier 2, a total of 4 times to complete missions 30, 74, and 99. Now do the Orleans free quests once each. They both drop all 3 currencies, and the 90 plus is a 2-2-1 arrangement of Lancers. A Quainskaya boosted Buster Saber team can make short work of it. The 90 plus I cover in depth in my event guide, which I'll link at the end. Next, go back to London, Tier 1, for another 4 runs to complete missions 42 and 77. Then Septem, Tier 3, another 2 times for missions 33 and 70. At this point, you can do the Lancer and Rider kills either in the 90 plus and 90 plus nodes, or elsewhere on the map. Ironically, the 5th copy of the event damage CE is locked behind the Rider kill mission, so you may have to farm that outside the 90 plus if you're struggling to meet its damage checks. For my part, I opted for the following arrangement. Do the 90 plus 4 times to complete mission 28, then do 90 plus until mission 29 is complete. Be sure to max limit break Cradle Song whenever you can. By now, you'll have all 3 of the Encore quests unlocked. These give you extra Setanta copies to raise his NP level, so don't neglect them. The one in Lost Jerusalem pits you against Oki, a tree man, and a knight. You're required to run Setanta and he can purge the buffs that the enemies have, so back him up with your best charge supports and go to town. The London Encore free quest requires you to run through a swarm of assassin enemies until Kimtoki shows up. You're required to run Setanta, but plucking him in favor of an AoE setup will save you some time. The last Encore quest is in Orléans, and also requires Setanta in your frontline. In this specific fight, he's poison immune to bypass a gimmick that drains charge and health, but honestly you can just nuke it all down with a half-decent attacker, an AoE. Missions 79 and 100 complete, which will open up the challenge quest if you've completed the Solomon chapter. I talk about strategy for the CQ in my event guide, so go there for the details. Now all you have to do is farm whatever you need from the shop. Good luck. Thanks for watching, lads. Like if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more, and you can watch twitch.tv/Finotaisen where I stream every week, 3 p.m. Pacific time. This coming week I have a little crossover on Tuesday, more word on that later, the Ultima Roulette on Wednesday, Baldur's Gate 3 Co-op on Friday, Pokemon Team Rocket Edition on Saturday, and FGO on Sunday. See you there.